Hey, Kyle Wilson here. Welcome to the video. And in this one, we'll be talking about VeVe. We'll also be talking about how to make money outside of VeVe, but also how to build your portfolio at the same time inside of VeVe. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive right into the video. All right, so welcome in and thank you for joining. If you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you want to further support, please join the YouTube membership for less than a cup of coffee per month. But let's go ahead and get it started. So I wanted to talk quickly about VeVe and the app and ecosystem, but also how to build your portfolio the smart way, both on VeVe and outside of VeVe, aka kind of diversifying, right? And so what I've seen is other influencers suggest different things. And so I really wanted to make this video, and I wanted to do it from my perspective because this is something that I've been thinking about since basically right when I got into VeVe. How could I grow my bag, if I'm not a gigantic whale or what have you? So my answer was simply to diversify and do things that I knew would do really well. And one of those things that I knew would do really well was nodes. So what I did was when I invested into VeVe and the portfolio had grown and grown and grown, and we went to all-time highs, I considered, even before that, is actually selling some of my VeVe collectibles and getting a node. And why would I do that? Now, here's the reason. Because when these nodes, and by the way, this is not financial advice, I'm not a financial advisor, of course, always do your due diligence and only risk what you are willing to lose. Now, with that being said, nodes, right? Because nodes are very risky, but they also perform a very needed service in the cryptocurrency space, and they help run ecosystems, platforms, blockchains. There's many different use cases for nodes. So that's why I'm really bullish on nodes. Now, that is not to say that some of these platforms out there aren't risky. There's like Thor and Strong nodes that I'm looking at, and I do consider them in the higher risk category. But with that being said, I was looking at Gala nodes in the very beginning. I think they're around like 2 to 4K price range. And I was actually going to pick up a node. And you might ask why. Why would you ever sell your VeVe collectibles? Now, I would not sell my VeVe collectibles for nodes. What I would do is I would sell a small portion, and that way that would fund my nodes. Or I would just use, I would mine some fiat in my IRL day job, right? And just buy a node directly. So without the need to really, use any VeVe collectibles. But it all depends on your own circumstances at the end of the day, right? But with that being said, fast forward to today, that 3 or 4K node on Gala is now worth $95,000. And it literally is mining Gala tokens and literally printing money basically, right? And I could use those funds. Now, I didn't get a Gala node, unfortunately, because there were some YouTube videos by some bigger YouTubers, and the price pumped within a week, and it went from like 3 to 4K to 20K in a matter of a week or two. But sadly, I did not get one. But if I did, that node would be worth $95,000. I could actually sell it as an NFT to somebody else, and it prints money every day, so I could decide to keep it and use that money to possibly get back into VeVe and buy more VeVe collectibles and things like that and build my portfolio. So I see that as a viable option to grow my portfolio in crypto as well as VeVe or whatever platform. Now, what I don't think is very wise is to sell VeVe collectibles to get maybe into other speculative NFTs. Now with VeVe, the great thing about this is they have FAs, they have proven collectibles. It's an app built by collectors for collectors. And I see that as a great system that they have set up and in place to retain values for these NFTs. Now, other platforms, they're high edition, and typically, some of these NFTs don't necessarily hold value as good as these proven NFTs on VeVe. So with that being said, if you ever see somebody, say sell your VeVe NFTs to go to this platform, that is a very, very risky move and highly speculative. The reason why I was so bullish and continue to be bullish on VeVe is because they have the Batmans, the Supermans, the Marvels, the Disneys. And we are only like literally there's so many more brands they haven't announced, and that more brands that are coming to VeVe. And this app is literally built for collectors. So with that being said, I consider it a lower risk NFT platform. And when I look at other platforms that haven't even released an NFT, or they have released NFTs and maybe they're based on athletes, those are higher risk. Even Gary Vee himself said about Dapper and the NBA Top Shots was that if you invest in some of these athletes, they are absolutely going to go to zero unless they are like the Tom Brady's, the Michael Jordans, the LeBron James. Otherwise, you are risking your money, your portfolio, your hard-earned dollars on these very speculative NFT assets versus, VeVe NFTs and these big brands that have been around for decades and have, like I've said in many of my videos, movies, comics, cards, collectibles, figurines, and it is already proven. And so that's why I remain so bullish on VeVe. But when I look at nodes, I do look at it as a nice passive opportunity to, earn crypto. You definitely are providing a network, a service by, basically lending out your node. The company actually does that. These companies like Thor and Strong, and I'm not telling you to get into these. These are projects I'm actually heavily researching. And Thor, they're coming out with a play to earn game, and Strong, they already have several ecosystems that they are supporting, the Ethereum blockchain, Polygon, and a few others. I'm still researching it, so I don't know all the specific details, but it is something I'm looking at. And I know Gala has the music nodes. I actually did a video on this before as well. They're only like $1,200 currently. And with that being said, the long term on that would look very good. And when I'm looking at the collectible space, you got to check out like the comics behind me. Like, how well have those performed historically, right? Collectible space, it always gradually increases because there's less and less supply, and collectors are always growing and growing, especially nowadays. Collectibles are very, very popular. The culture around superheroes, movies, and, these universes have grown exponentially and will continue to grow. We will see Marvel and DC just continue to completely pump out content for this foreseeable future, right? And I think they'll continue to do that. So, and not only that, it has been mainstream for a while with Marvel having super high success, DC releasing Batman. And for that reason, I'm super bullish on that, right? Proven collectibles that, only a limited amount of users can have. Now, VeVe introducing the OMI utility program where you'll be able to basically burn collectibles. And that's something I'm definitely taking a look at. When I look at, collections in the macro entity, like the Bored Ape Yacht Club, and how exclusive those are, I see VeVe being exactly like that, where the Todds, the Supermans, the whatevers, the Black Panthers, decreasing in supply of some of these big whales, basically burn these collectibles. We could potentially see giant supply shocks, and people that want to own these very, very valuable NFTs, the price absolutely keep going up for that reason, but also for other reasons like it just being a flex, right? As simple as that. So there's many different factors why I stay invested into VeVe and why I strategize, how to make passive income to get back into VeVe, right? It's like this basically like this infinity type of thing where it just keeps going and going and going. And that's kind of the dream, right? You want to continually grow that portfolio if that makes sense. Now, with that being said, everything is obviously a risk and you always want to do your research, but those are some of the strategies that I am employing. I even got into Illuvium to stake their token to earn, passively through their, DeFi protocol to earn more ILV tokens. And if I want to, I can definitely invest more into the ILV ecosystem as, my portfolio grows there. That's the same exact strategy. And this is how you grow your portfolio the smart way without investing into super speculative investments. Now, ILV, I've talked to many different whales, Ethereum maxis, game maxis, people that play games all day, and they all say Illuvium is going to be, it looks great. And I've heard very little bad things about Illuvium ever. So that's why I'm bullish on that project. And obviously VeVe, everything that I talked about is why I'm bullish on VeVe, for the foreseeable future. So when I look at all the other investments out there, all the other NFT platforms, I do see them as viable investments to some degree, right? There's always these risks that you're going to have to weigh in. And are these athletes going to be worth a lot in even just a year from now, 5 years from now, and 10 years from now? Are these collectibles, does it have a big, massive fan base? If yes or no. And, there's all these different indicators, factors, even the slightest thing could make that collectible not worth that much versus something that's like, the very first Batman, right? So I do weigh and kind of basically tier these different collectibles and things like that. And I do look at VeVe, the Master Collectors Program long term, another super viable way that I can put points into these raffles and potentially, get some of these really cool NFTs that I think that will have significant value or whatever and continue to grow that portfolio. So when I'm looking at everything, I definitely weigh everything. And like I said, some of these things that I've picked have done really well. And these other platforms, especially in the open, market, NFT, decentralized, OpenSea, those are super highly speculative now. And back last year, things were much easier. You could mint something and it would go 2x and you could just sell it. Or sometimes in some cases, it would go 2 to 5 to 10x. But this year has been completely different. People aren't as bullish as much as they were last year on some of those random generative projects and things like that. These projects are going to have to do something very special in the OpenSea world. They're going to have to do really unique things that haven't been done before. A lot of them have the same exact roadmap as one another. And, you have to have real artists, real art, and even more than that, and a robust roadmap that's going to survive, a downtrend or a bear market. With VeVe Collectibles, we've seen these collectibles perform very well, considering they've gone like 10 to 50x in some cases. So with that being said, this is what I'm looking at in the entire ecosystem, the space, even including OpenSea, Immutable X, the marketplaces. I am considering obviously diversifying and getting back into platforms and blue chip platforms like VeVe. And I think more platforms are going to get to that level, but VeVe is definitely one of those ones that is setting the standard and trend for branded premium experiences, right? And a lot of projects obviously have been watching what VeVe is doing and kind of gearing their roadmaps and their plans, what they plan on doing, edition sizes. They've been analyzing everything VeVe has been doing, which is pretty crazy to actually see. With that being said, I ranted. I went on for a while. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I know this was kind of a long video, but I just wanted to kind of blast what's been in my brain, how I planned on, getting more VeVe NFTs, more of these premium brands that are lined up down the road that we don't even have any idea about that I think are going to do really well just because of the VeVe effect. But yeah, I just wanted to basically give you guys some of these strategies that maybe you could be utilizing. If you want me to do more videos on nodes or, DeFi protocols, how to earn and use some of these strategies to grow your portfolios and to really, get these NFTs that are, going to be worth a lot in the future, right? With that being said, let me know what you guys think. I will see you guys in the next video. Smash the thumbs up, destroy it. If you enjoyed this and you want more videos like this. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video at the blockchain. And be like an NFT, be authentic, and I'll see y'all later.